Had so many ups and downs that people don't see.
I might go and black out after the show, but
Like, what language do you speak? I'm like, English. You're speaking to me in English.
there you go.
A little bit. I mean, COVID came and our entire business shut down because
Girls who want to party, who want access and wristbands or
Free
drinks.
tickets.
it's a bad pain. It's
The fuck? We can't book you on a show because we can't afford the flight.
we have no choice but to work our fucking asses off. This is our livelihoods and this is our future.
Today is Tuesday when we're recording this podcast. It's 2 days past from Coachella. I still have a hangover, and that's why I invited two guests, and I would love them to talk a lot today. It's a guys who did a space yacht, one of the biggest and best parties in LA. I can say like that. Ta-da!
Do you know about the banya that's on Pico City Spa?
Okay, yes.
We should have done the banya. We should have done this at the banya.
What?
The interview.
A banya interview.
This is the thing that I talked to some of my Asian friends today about the banya.
Yeah.
Because in banya in Russia we have like these leaves.
Pletsa.
How it's called? Leaves?
Yeah, pletsa.
Plates.
Isn't that
This
what it's
thing?
called?
Yeah. I don't know how
Pletsa,
it's called
yeah.
in English. And we love to do this. It's like good for your health.
The olive branches.
No, so
Branches, yes.
On Pico Boulevard, it's called City Spa, and I've been going there for 20 years, and it's all Russian. They only I was there last week, and the guy was like talking to me in Russian. I was like, I don't speak. He's like, oh. He's like, oh.
Because in Russia...
He's like, what? He's like, what language do you speak? I'm like, English. You're speaking to me in
Weird.
English. I was like, okay, bro.
I
yeah,
love
but that's-
banya. I love banya and I
Banya's
love
the
Korean
best.
spa. I'm a big fan of this.
But it's not. It's like you know. It's like classic. Like it's nice, but it's not like spa. You know what? You know.
Yeah,
what it
you're
is. It's
drinking
like-
beer there?
You're drinking beer in the
Yeah?
the thing, and
like the salt fish or like dry salt fish. No, it's usually in
not
Russia.
the facial. It's a lot of just branches and cold plunges and borscht in the
Borscht.
other room, yeah. Oh, we're back.
I'm sorry I didn't change the batteries
No, you're
and
good.
we stopped our podcast.
break.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that you have a lot of people in your team, but anyway, you are the main people in Space Yacht, and you're also a friends, right? You like working together, you hang out
besties.
together,
Yeah,
best
we're
friends.
besties, yeah.
Have you ever had like any fights during these 10 years or moments when you're like, fuck you, we just stop this party?
I mean, I'm sure we've had kind of like attitude-based things.
The thing is we're very.
But we have a common goal, right?
We have a
Like,
common
it
goal.
always-
We also
it
don't
always
really hold
unifies
back
us.
when like I can't. It's been I think years since we've had any kind of friction like that. But we also are very open with each other.
Right.
So I don't feel like it's ever really anything that's bubbled up in a bad way where we're like beefing with each other. It's like if he didn't like the way I talked to him or I said something on a call that was inappropriate or vice versa, it's like we like pretty quickly are like, yo, bro, like I
It's
wasn't
never
really
been
feeling
like
that.
a terminal
no.
fight type of thing.
So technically 10 years it was like a good, healthy relationship between both of you.
Yeah, my man, absolutely. No, but that's also it is a relationship, and it's like this is our business. You know, this is our livelihoods, and this is our future. It's not anybody else telling us what to do, and it's a double-edged sword. You know, you dream of being your own boss, but once you're your own boss, like you have to deal with the fact that if shit goes wrong, it's on you and nobody else, right? And we also take a lot of. It's important to us that our employees still have jobs, and you know what I mean. It's not just Henry and I. It's like we actually have people depending on us and our families and stuff. So I think we have to be that way. We have to be open and honest. And in the past, it's always been like if there's an issue, we deal with it right away. There's definitely like we try to leave our egos at the door when it comes to business, and also when it comes to the way we interact with one another.
Sounds very sweet. Cannot believe that you are never arguing to each other.
We really don't, honestly. Like
we got shit to do.
Yeah, we got shit to do.
got
It's
shit
like
to do.
there's so much to do that it's like we just gotta keep it moving.
Okay, I will.
And we
I
also
will believe-
our employees are awesome. Like everybody's super cool and receptive, and everyone's growing. So we're never like behind the scenes like we've been at jobs. We know what jobs are like. People talking shit.
Yeah.
Someone thinks that something isn't run right. This and that. Everyone has opinions. Like that's not how we roll. We're like we all have a common goal. We're all looking out for each other. And also like the communities, like we have a community to to report to, you know? It's like people depend on our stuff being dope, you know, whether that's the show or something coming out on our label. And we take that shit personally. I think that's another driving force for both of us. We take this shit personally. If a show doesn't do well, if a release isn't what we want it to be, we've let ourselves down, you know, and that's it. And it's a bad pain. It's, you know, like for me, I don't want to speak for you. For me, it's like, it's self-embarrassment. I'm not embarrassed from someone else. Like, of course, if I let somebody down, I don't want to let anybody down. But even for myself, I'm like, man, that was whack. Like, I just took an L. And I guess we're big on let's learn from the L's when we have them. It's not like, okay, well, let's throw it away. But I think we have both a fire in ourselves and like, we want to be great, you know? So it's like, we have no choice but to work our fucking asses off, you know?
So I saw you a few times and I don't know you as a person. I just know you through your social media through your like reels, funny, sarcasm reels.
Videos.
And that's the thing, like the way how you're talking right now, like very sweet and kind with a very normal views of the, I don't know, relationship and everything. It sounds very interesting because like I had a different opinion about who are you as a person. I thought you like, you know, like
most people have that of us. They're like,
No,
well, you guys are smarter than you look online.
No, it's not about you're smart. It's not about that you're smart or not. It's about the, you understand, like
I know what you
attitude
mean.
and personality. You know, I was thinking you like fuck you, la 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 la, like this type of person.
Look, my video. This is a new thing. The video thing for me. I didn't like talk shit like that before, but now I don't know. It seems like it's kind of working. But I hope that people understand I'm joking. Like it's not.
I understand, and I love your type of humor in your reels.
Yeah.
How you came to that to do these reels?
The reels. So we've been doing content for the whole time with Space Yacht, and we were talking about how reach is like we use this term. Reach is freedom. Like the more reach we have, the more we can do better parties and promote our artists better. And it's like reach is kind of the battle that we're doing for Space Yacht. And by the way, that can be like, we do clothing as well. It's like more reach so that more people can buy this.
This one is yours?
Yeah, this is one that we did for Henry.
It's so cute.
It's a limited
there
edition.
There is a Henry's face on that. Yeah. And it's so cute.
And then my
honestly.
press photo from me as a DJ is me wearing this one, standing in the same place he's standing.
It looks very stylish. I would love to have someone like that.
We have to this is a limited, so but we'll make new.
Unfortunately, you can't.
Yeah, but I don't even know what we were talking about. But the reach. So this is our big thing right now. Is like reach is power, right? I started kind of like a challenge to myself if I can make a video every day or be consistent and like try for a year to do the kind of quote unquote like creator thing. To see if I could crack the code. And then like Tay from our team was like, fuck it, I'm going to try to do it too. And we always talk about this. We've always been like, everyone should be in front of the camera. Like Space Yacht doesn't have to just be Henry and I. It can be, the team as well. But like everybody has to have a character. You have to do your shit. And Tay this weekend made like 3 Coachella videos. And like, I think it almost has 1 million views across all 3 of them from TikTok.
Oh, wow.
Like, we talk about like in our meetings, we're like, oh, I learned this today, or like, oh, I saw this influencer like strategist talk about this. And so we're always talking about strategy for content. But now we're just like putting our feet to the fire saying, all right, well, let's try to do it. And then apply those learnings to Space Yacht as a brand, because being a creator as an individual is different than a brand. So that's now where we're at now, where it's like, we've learned some things now. Like today we had a long conversation about like, how do we implement the whole like, for example, my videos like talking shit and like reeling somebody in and then twisting it on them. And then how do we promote a show through that? Like, is there a way to do that in a way that's not stupid or like cheesy? And we don't know. But we're trying to figure out how can we weave that in, or how can we weave the content that's super engaged in without it about selling you a ticket or selling you something, but as a way to open up our engagement, or open our reach as a brand, right? So do we have Tay as a weekly commentator on Fridays talking about what shows are coming up? Do we do my stupid videos, but somehow relate it to a genre so it caters to our audience? Like I make a stupid dubstep video or house, you know what I mean? Like right now, on my own, I'm trying to be as broad as possible. But for us, we're super niche. Like, you're a DJ. So for us sitting here, it's like, oh yeah, DJ culture is so big. It's not big in America in that way versus hip hop or country or pop music. So, we can't just sit here being like, oh, like it's easy. Everybody likes this music. They don't, it's like the Cascades of the world, the John Summits, they are the top percent who broke through, but there's only like 10 people like that. The rest of us have to like try to break through to get as much reach and get new people as possible. So the whole content, all the reels I'm doing, like, is all stuff where it's like an experiment to see how can we leverage that into what we do at
But
Space
the thing
Yacht.
how you're doing it is so natural. You know, it doesn't feel like you pushing yourself. It's very. When I see, I really having fun, and I see that
Thank you.
it's like the smart content. You know.
Well,
I don't know.
we're big on this as a company. Like we only do stuff we're passionate about. You know,
That's the thing. Of course, I've heard about the Space Yacht for like a few years, but I've never met you, and unfortunately, I didn't go a lot to Space Yacht like last year. But it's so interesting that I see that like Space Yacht, it's something bigger than just a brand for you or like a hobby. It's like your life and the way how you treat Space Yacht, like. I don't know, like strategy, like social media and stuff like that. It's very cool. What is the biggest Space Yacht was like? I mean, in terms of amount of people, the biggest Space Yacht.
We had a cool stage in downtown where Chris Lake played. Yeah. This is a while, like
Chris Lake
probably
played
five-
at Space Yacht.
probably 5 years ago. It was
the
huge.
hard
It
one,
was-
the hard one, not the
it
hard
was-
one. Sorry,
it was AMF.
AMF. That
Yeah,
was huge.
that's probably like, I don't know, 8,000, 10,000 people.
Really?
But, I mean,
You
was
had
their
you had a
stage.
stage there, or it was like a real
We
Space Yacht
hosted
event?
the stage. So
Yeah, so it was part of a festival. Like
we weren't building.
Our
like,
biggest stuff has been like
CDJs.
Anyway.
No, but our biggest stuff has been at festivals. So like Beyond Wonderland, we've done stuff at EDC. We, because Insomniac has done a lot with us, and then that was AMF. That was kind of, I think, a one-time fest at that location.
We did like Nocturnal one year
as well.
where we had like the only rhythm DJs on the whole festival, and like I don't know, it was like the year that rhythm was like really really big, and it was just so packed. It was probably about 9,000.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure.
our club shows range. I mean, the Tuesday shows that we were doing were like, that it's like a 600 person room, but then when we do kind of Exchange or Academy, those are more like 1,500 or a little more. So we're really a club brand. So when we think about like what we do, we're not necessarily going to like make a Space Yacht festival or even necessarily do something at like, some crazy venue. Like the brand is like based in club culture and club
But
stuff.
anyway, you're doing collaborations, as you said, like with other festivals.
Yeah, so we're able to do that. I mean, we also did Life is Beautiful in Vegas too. So we've had the opportunity to put
It in the future, right? I saw the flyer in Vegas, or it was.
we did in the past.
yeah,
I mean, we would love to do it again in the future for sure.
We're like this New Year's in San Francisco. We did at the Midway. So it's like we're able to do those bigger kind of 3,000 to 5,000 person.
How
things,
easy for you
but-
to make a collaborations with others, like parties and venues or like festivals?
These days, I think
Easy?
it's easier than it was in the past because I think we've done over time a better and better job. But
But how many times you say no?
it's-
You've heard no. From
collabs are hard, man. Like you have to really like listen and account for your business, your other partner, your business partner. You kind of want to account for what they want to do, help them succeed. And then sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and you can't now uncollaborate. You kind of need to work it out, right? So the hard part about collabs is there's another cook in the kitchen, right? So you really need to pay attention to the things they're trying to do. But also the good thing about collabs are, you get to show each other's fan bases and audiences what everything's all about, and you get to combine forces, and everyone works is a little less stressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't obsess with collaborations long term because it's like make sure you do your own shit and lock that stuff down first, and make sure you know what you're doing with your own brand, what you're about, what your identity is, and then once you have it locked down. For example, we have our brand Tech My House. We know exactly what it sounds like. We know the artists that are on the label for it. We know the artists we want to book. We know what special guests would be perfect for it. So then once you kind of know, you then can go to like certain nightclubs. Like, oh, that's a dubstep club. Like it's maybe not as good for Tech My House. You know what I mean? Or there are certain clubs that are made perfect for that. And when you go and talk to them, they're like actually very excited to talk about it.
What the best clubs to make a Space Yacht, or like the best experience that you had?
I mean, just today we talked to one of our partners in San Francisco called Audio Nightclub, and they're known to be kind of a house music club.
Yeah.
So perfect example. I'm not going to put a dubstep show there. You're not going to put a dubstep show there. It's going to be by and large house music in a very pure and exciting way, and the collaboration makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But then there are other venues who you just feel like it feels so perfect for techno or dubstep or whatever.
You mean in terms of sound or
the look?
How it looks like,
it's just so the aesthetic is just perfect for the sound.
And that's part of what's cool about. I mean, for those that are watching this and listening and don't know about Space Yacht, we're multi-genre. So like we put on shows that are dubstep or techno or house or drum and bass. It's like, and our record label is the same way. Like you'll see the compilations; they're all categorized. They have their own brands based on the sound, and there's an evolution there too. Like we're really into 140 dubstep right now and kind of the more experimental bass wubby stuff. So we're going to, and we put out compilations, but now we're doing shows because we're like so excited about it. We're finding so much of that music through our live streams and we're signing a lot of it. So it's ever evolving, but I agree with Henry. It's like, there's no specific venue that's perfect for our whole brand. It's like each part of our brand has a different flavor to it. So, like Sound Nightclub is amazing for house and techno. I mean, it's a premier place, but we also kill it at Exchange as well with our house shows. So it just really depends on the venue. Also, like understanding the fan base in each city, because we're not just in LA, we're all across the West Coast, and it's like kind of like trial and error trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. Some places we might not do as much bass music. We might lean into house a little bit more and vice versa, just depending. And like each territory is a different vibe. I mean, Seattle, like we mentioned Tony, who works on the team, he's spearheaded the shows in Seattle. That's our second best market outside of LA. I mean,
Seattle?
We crush it in Seattle, yeah. And it's like weird because it's not as close as...
Why do you think you're crushing like in...
I think it's a mixture of
genre?
like there's less congestion, there's less amount of like shows to compete with. People have to travel up there. They don't live in LA, so you're not seeing the same people all the time. So it's much more special. We've also built the brand over the last 3 years. Like every party we do is just smashed. So I feel like Space Yacht as a name has made its way where it's like people are coming for Space Yacht just as much as the artists that we're booking.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like Tony, shout out to Tony H. He really he's the mayor of Seattle. Like I do believe that with his leadership on it, we are further along than we would if it was just Henry and I trying to figure it out.
He lives in Seattle.
He lives in Seattle, and
Oh.
he's based in Seattle, and he DJs, a great artist, and he's he plays all over the place. So that's definitely like a huge key that unlocked that whole area. So every time we do a show there every like 2 months, and each time it's just like getting more and more lit. I mean, this show right now that we have this weekend, actually coming up on Friday
in LA,
in Seattle.
In Seattle. Okay.
It's it's going to be our quickest sellout ever. Compared to our other shows. So, that's just an example of like that market
in about a day.
Yeah, exactly. So that market, behaves differently than LA or San Francisco or Vegas or San Diego. So each market we have to kind of attend to both musically and then also strategically of like, how do we make this pop?
So you like have a meeting like, okay, we have a show like in Vegas. So you start thinking like what the best artist fits this city, what this like social medias.
And what should the flyer look like? What's the artwork? Who's, who are the locals we should book to make sure that the homies all come out? Who is somebody who isn't just popular with us, but like that actually has resonance in that city? Just because somebody's popping in LA doesn't mean that they know about it.
So you're trying to book more artists from the city where you're doing this event.
Yeah, I think there's a balance of like the special guests, kind of the marquee artist who's maybe touring or coming from Europe, whatever. And then there's a whole element of like, okay, we're not from Seattle. There needs to be a bit of homework that we do as curators to respect the local scene. And there's a balance, right? If you book only locals, then they'll call it, oh, it's a local party. Okay. Well, then if I book a special guest and book all people not from Seattle, then they'll be like, fuck you didn't book our people. So you have to find a balance, right? And
yeah.
It's a matter of respect, but also bringing something special that people haven't seen.
Something new, yeah.
Yep.
So interesting. Have you ever seen think to bring Space Yacht outside of US? Different countries?
We did
we
Asia
have,
tour, yeah.
We have. I think it's
Canada.
It's expensive, right? Because you have to fly places. It's for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Fiji. Don't forget Fiji.
We did a activation.
You did on Fiji? At the
We
island?
did a stage collaboration in Fiji. We've done a tour in China. We did
a boat stage in Singapore.
We've done a stage in Singapore.
Yeah.
They're usually collaborations.
Yeah.
But by and large, they're kind of like special events for us. It's not.
Yeah.
Hey, dog. They're more like special events for us. It's not like it's not like we rely on them
Yeah.
to make our business happen. But you know what's cool is like I think every couple of years we like to do something different,
special,
because
to
it
go
kind of
somewhere.
like makes everyone around to go like, oh, what's going on? And it's also
Fiji,
nice to
Singapore.
see the scenes in other places.
Yeah, I mean, our tour in Asia, the two of us just went together. It was about 3 weeks. And that was like the coolest experience to like meet people who knew about the brand over there. I got to perform in front of people who,
he played hardstyle.
Yeah, I played hardstyle and some psytrance. And then also just to like be in different, like we went to Taiwan, we went to Singapore, we went to 3 different cities in China, like all in that trip. Just from us as people, it was like a cool like experience to do that kind of travel. So it's not the core of our business, but it is fun when we have the opportunity to do those things. It's definitely fun.
I love the sound. Yeah, our dog is drinking the water.
That would be my lawyer.
It's like, oh.
What if like everything about humans was the same except that's how we drank water? So everything's the same.
What if they're like, oh, it's so loud?
Everything's normal except it's like, oh really? No, I'm thirsty. You know, everything's the same except for that.
I think she's almost done. So as I said, I worked a little bit with Sunday sessions. I did like maybe 1.5 years party with my other friend, like you, but we stopped. But I know a little bit like the kitchen of the underground events, and I know that there is no big money, especially if you are not like as Insomniac and bringing like a big DJ and have a like 8,000 crowd and you can make money. But honestly, I don't think that they're making a bit money as well. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that Space Yacht is not the party who makes like a big amount of money, right? Or you do? Or it's a secret.
We have a good business. I mean, it depends, you know.
Like in the business, but I mean, like if it's like event by itself, when the people just buying tickets.
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
It depends. But I think I sense the energy where it comes from, and it's like it was a hobby for us for a very long time. Yeah. Like probably the first 3 years.
Well, we all had jobs during the first 3 years.
Yeah.
So it wasn't full time.
Even the 4th and 5th year, it was still kind of like, kind of, not really. And I think I'm sensing the energy is like, it's hard. It is hard. You have to work, like be really smart and work hard. And, you know, hey, doggy.
She's ruining not like ruining. She make this podcast special.
Yeah. No, but I think it just depends on how you do it. I think we've gotten really good at figuring out how to make money doing what we do with the limited resources that we have. And then we also mix it up with things that are higher.
Because I mean, when you want to book like some big DJ or the DJ that his rate is high, like are you negotiate with him that, hey, like we have a budget, or you just not choosing like expensive artists?
It depends, because if we have partners who are helping to co-finance it, we can do bigger artists. So it's like the New Year's stuff we do always has major artists, but we're working with partners. And then we're very big on what's called a P&L sheet, which profit and loss sheet, where it's basically like we know like every aspect of how the money flows in a night. Yeah. So it's not just like, oh, let's book this DJ and whatever. It's like, no, we stick to a very strict budget of what we're allowed to spend on talent. And part of the value of us as like networked individuals is that we have a big Rolodex of people who have goodwill towards us. We've maybe done right for them in the past. And so like, you know, we have good looks. We find ways to get them paid on bigger shows for us. And sometimes they'll do us a homie rate and it'll be a little cheaper. Not always, but it just depends. So that's part of the puzzle that we work on every single day, which is like, we don't want to insult people by doing like low offers. You know, if it's something where we want to have this artist and it's a perfect fit and we don't have the budget, we'll say, hey, can we do this show? And maybe here's a couple other shows, or hey, we'll market your other show that you have at this big venue if we come and do a pop-up with us. So we're trying like
negotiate.
So yeah, we negotiate every day, all day with people, not out of us trying to fuck anybody over, but just like, look, you know, it's a Tuesday night, you know, like how much money do you think we have to work with, you know? And even on the weekend, it's like people know that people don't expect us to be the big dogs. People like our brand is that we are many people's first show ever. Our brand is that a fancy person pops up that you didn't expect because they were just in town and they're like, cool, I'll come and play some songs. That's what our brand is. Our brand is not the headline stadium show.
Yeah,
like that's not what it is. So for us, we've actually gotten really good at figuring out how to kind of make the money work for us because we have so many volume of shows that it's not just one show when we hit somebody up. It's like, hey, do you want to play our boat party and the after party? And then we have a sound show on Tuesday. And then if you want to come to Seattle, like we have stuff to offer people where it's not just about the money from one show. So that's how, we're wheeling and dealing and trying to make everybody happy. And
you have money for rent to cover your
car.
No,
and it pays for our livelihood and our staff.
So your only job, like just Space Yacht brand, or you have something else to make money for living?
This is the main meat and potatoes.
We also meet every day for 5 hours a day, and then probably 2 or 3 more hours just independent working. So
no, I believe that
it's that's the other thing. It's very full time. Even on weekends we're working, but it's okay. Again, like we're passionate, we're excited. If there's something bad going on, we have to deal with it anyway. So it never lingers. It's like how are we going to deal with this, right? Regardless of what day it is. Yeah. So I think it's just different when you own your own business and we don't have bosses. We just report to each other.
Everyone who is a freelance or has his own company, they understand it. It's like not a 5 to job.
It's whenever is needed. So
we're a freelance rave mongers, club mongers,
7 days in a week. How you came to the decision to start the record label? Who brought this idea?
Such a scary time.
It was a scary time.
He said I need to release my new tracks.
I think we wanted to from the early on. I think we saw other really cool brands.
Mm-hmm. It was like an idea. Honestly, probably now we're almost 10 years in. It's probably been an idea for at least 8 years.
Yeah, it was always something we wanted to do, but wasn't.
But it wasn't like we couldn't figure out if it was just going to be like a hobby, like an expensive hobby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if it was going to be like, okay, this is a real thing, because if we're going to do it, we're going to spend some real time on it, and it might.
It's like one more thing
to really focus on, and it was during COVID where we were like, holy shit, it made us realize all we do is sell tickets and RSVPs and maybe sell some drinks or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it made us realize there's no real anything that's not IRL is just it could have disappeared, right? So then it became a real serious project for us to really research every little thing about running a label, and I think we did it for a month straight of just researching and talking to our peers, industry people about some tips and stuff, and we finally came together and we're like, okay, we saved a little money and we're like, let's just launch it. We both kind of knew if we had a major Fisher losing it. I was gonna say losing control. Wrong hit.
Another hit.
But one of those style of hits, and it's if we get lucky, I'm sure the label will be in a much better place. But it might also be a slow burn.
Yeah.
Where it just slowly compiles on top of each other. So we started it and we're like, okay, it feels good. We have some real stuff on a catalog. People like investing on catalogs. It helps you generate royalties, which is good.
And it's another way to support the artists that we book. It kind of it puts a little bit more meat on the bone when it comes to
make a community bigger.
Yeah, right? It makes it big. It adds another layer of ways that we can help artists.
For sure.
So, but honestly, you're kind of sugarcoating a little bit. COVID came and our entire business shut down because events went away.
Yeah, that's the thing. How you handle this thing.
So that was the pivot where we're like, well, we're not going to give up, and we don't know how long this is going to last, but we know we're not going to give up on this. So what can we do on the off time? So that's when we started streaming. And it started with actually streaming live sets. That was the big thing. The first year was Henry hosted. We had this amazing studio that a friend of ours let us use, and Henry would host it a late night show, and then be and now here's this person, whatever. And we had dope production. But then we started our Tune Reactor series, which is our live, basically live A&R.
I love your YouTube channel, honestly.
Yeah,
I just saw that you posted John Summit set a few.
Yeah. No, so that was from that era.
So that was a set during COVID where we couldn't have anything.
Yeah.
But no, like you said, like over COVID, we started streaming, and we were like, what other new stuff are people making in the
It's
bedrooms?
cool that the kind of like crisis, this like COVID situation, not like stop you, just brought the new ideas.
It made us better.
And
It
it's
did
cool.
make us
Yes,
better. It's weird.
because the
Better.
crisis is not like it just give you more potential to create something. No, it's very cool. I saw that you had a stage like a few years ago at Coachella, like a
Last year.
Heineken. Last year,
yeah, we did a stage takeover last year.
How you did this connection to have your own?
That was through our partner at Sound, who were they programmed the Yuma tent. I think they programmed Quasar this year,
Kobe?
and Kobe and that
Okay.
whole team. So and specifically Mark, because Mark, shout out to Mark from the Sound team, and they also do Framework as well. So they're very tapped in, and they're just great partners. They're our partner on the Tuesday nights we were doing at Sound, and they hit us up with the opportunity. They said, "You want to do
How
this?"
was it? How was it?
It was great. It was great. We had like the artists on the bill were like I got to play. Tony from our label got to play. Nico and Sway, who we were early on with them. It was just a great lineup of people that were either affiliated with the label or have played our shows. So it was just nice to kind of like bring everybody together. And then it was sick to be able to like the day we did our takeover to like park in the parking lot and like walk to the stage and be like, oh shit, this is our stage for the day. Like it was pretty sick.
What was your thoughts when you just like really like sitting on the parking, just realizing that you have a stage in Coachella? Like,
it was pretty
it's one of
sick.
the biggest festivals in
Another
the
day
world.
in the office,
Another
baby.
day in the office. Yeah, it's all good. And it's like, it's not, and also it's like, no, it was really excited. It's also great for our team because our whole team came out. Everybody really like, we had we had like a trailer, so we were like kind of feeling ourselves in the trailer. It was pretty fun.
Amazing.
Smoking weed in the trailer, so no, it was awesome. And also like that stage, like to be honest with you, it's like last year it was tucked away in the corner, and we're like, will anybody even be here? But people turned out. I mean, we had Nightmare was like our headliner for the day, and Whipped Cream also.
I mean, those are
so people
superstars.
fucking came out. Those are like, to me, those are people. They're main stagers anyway. So the fact that we had that kind of talent on our stage really like made it really pop for us. So it was awesome. It's really great.
No, because it was my first time on Coachella this year, and unfortunately I was this type of person that watched a lot of stupid videos and listened people's opinion about Coachella. You know, there's like typical, Coachella, it's so commercial.
A lot of hate out there, but no, Coachella's amazing.
But I didn't know because like before you go there, you cannot understand what is it. And I came and I'm like, people are taking photos. Yeah, girls has a like outfits, but I mean it is what it is, and overall like the whole production of the stages was like pretty impressed.
Insane. No, I'll say, look, I started going in 2005. I think if you're like an OG Coachella person, you might have that opinion about how it's gotten this or that because it was very different in the early days. It wasn't commercial in the same way. But I agree with you. The reason that you have these amazing stages and this amazing production is because of the sponsors, and because, and like, so you can't have it all, especially with the internet. The internet is just all haters. That's what I'm learning about all this stuff.
So I was...
and people have bad... you can go and have a bad time, but for the most part, I would say 95% of the people there are having an amazing time, and you can't beat the talent that they get. We were talking about it yesterday, how global the talent is. It's not just DJs or bands. It's like... Dude, like the whole main stage, it's like you have like artists who are big from Mexico, not just like Spanish music, like from different countries, K-pop, all kinds of different places, like global.
I agree. Last night, I came like back from Coachella yesterday, and I was laying the whole day on bed and scrolling the Instagram, and I found some guy who posted like 10 reels in a row, and he took like the worst moment from Coachella, like. This is bad. This is bad. This is like super expensive. This guy, like this, like Grimes situation. And he just like posting. And I was thinking if I wouldn't be at Coachella and watch all these reels, I was thinking such a bad festival is it.
No.
And I was on my way to start like comment these videos like, dude, like stop saying this shit because the people who wasn't there, he really like believe everything that you said and they have like their own like opinion about it. And Yeah, but I didn't because I was like, I don't want to spend my energy to this guy. But anyway, it's so stupid because like people cannot understand that it's so much work people put to make this happen.
Yeah.
To bring so many artists, so many people, do this like logistic production, build the stages, and it's really like high quality in my opinion.
The highest quality. I mean, what festival has this? I mean, there's amazing, Insomniac puts on the amazing festivals, but that's really focused on more rave culture. I know that they do, like Hard has hip hop acts and stuff, but for the most part, it's DJs. This is so dynamic in terms of the different types of music that is there. And it's not at all like you can get a little of something. And by the way, the people who are playing are all the best at the moment. You know what I mean? These are the best bands in the world, the best rappers in the world, the best DJs in the world, all in one place. You would pay a lot of money just to go to one of those people's concert.
That's what I'm saying.
You'd pay $150 just to see one of those artists, let alone fucking 100 of them all in the same place.
When I saw the Doja Cat performance, I was saying like, maybe I've never go to her show by myself, but I'm staying there. I'm like, oh my God, like this is insane.
Yeah.
Like the show that she did, like the people, and the only one thing that I mentioned that I sang like with my open mouth, like that, like almost every set and every shows.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like, oh.
Yeah.
Jimmy XX, like, what the music are you playing right now? Like, it's insane. Or Doja Cat that just like she's dancing like with the dancers in the mat, like sexy like movements, and I'm like, wow, it's insane.
Yeah,
it is.
It's amazing. Shout out to Coachella.
So, what do you like it?
The best.
What do you think about the Grimes situation? Her performance.
I
was trying to protect her. I didn't know how.
I have a feeling that is part of the show. Because you're on Reddit, Twitter, whatever. It seems like she does this. It's not her first time doing this.
Yeah, we've heard this.
So I wonder if it's like part of the
maybe
show.
it's performance art. Maybe it's performance art.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
I was thinking the same thing.
That's interesting. It's like it's performance art. She's like, let me see how I can make the audience feel weird. Because it's like a very embarrassing
And a lot of people are kind of standing up for her in a kind of like, oh, she's so relatable. And yeah, I can relate to the demonic scream. Like I do that in the shower too. So, but if that's all planned and yet she still gets this cool platform to keep doing, I'm sure that part's going to piss off a lot of people.
I can explain why I agree with you about that. It can be planned because this is the bigger, like this is a headline, like set. If there should be like 1 million people who are like stage manager or sound engineer who can take care of her like technical mistakes, and she's screaming like 50 minutes to the mics saying that she has a technical issues, and as I see, no one came to her and fix it.
Well, now that you guys said that it might have been staged, my whole thought about this is all messed up now because I'm like, maybe it was staged, and so that like.
So that's why I'm thinking that it was like in purpose.
Because like it's an amazing piece of performance art,
and everyone is talking about it. Like everyone.
I refuse to believe that it was all technical difficulties. Do I think she's a good DJ? I probably think she could use a lot of practice. I'm sure, but I think the topic of the moment is it was on purpose. It's a performance art.
Is that the thing? I put my phone down for like half the day today.
Can someone verify?
And people are, I don't know.
Okay. Also, you have your set at Coachella. Even if someone did it for you, okay. But if someone did it for you, he has to have like a few USB just in case. I mean, like it should be so many different explanation to avoid this issue. What's happened and. Nothing didn't work.
There's no way that this is planned. She fucked up. There's no way. Why would you do that to yourself? What do you like? What do you stand to gain by like?
I can understand why no one came to her and
like
helped her.
like embarrassing yourself is not like I don't see.
So she started dating with Anima. I think that they like say to everyone that they're in relationship right now, and he's
her
a
and
DJ.
Anima.
I think
like Tale of Us Anima?
Right.
Yeah.
She announced it on Twitter
and I'm like,
together.
why he didn't come to her and like show her?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't know. Well, look. Listen.
It's interesting.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Well, look, for all the DJs who think, for all the DJs and musicians and artists out there who think that slot would have been better for another artist who practiced more or who took it more seriously, maybe I would recommend practicing your demonic grunts a little better. And I think you would stand a better chance getting booked at Coachella. So that's my tip to the podcast.
But overall, you are very positive about the Coachella festival, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I made a bunch of videos about it, but like it was more taking the piss out of like people who were hungover from it or spending money. But I wasn't trying to take a dig at Coachella as a festival at all. It's more just like I've been there enough to know what it's like. For example, my favorite video in the series that didn't really even do many views was like you're back in the office the day after Coachella. Like that, really I know personally. That's why I was able to make that video to be like. Yeah, like,
this reel was totally about me. Like when I watched it, like the whole your screenshot on your background, like it's me.
Yeah,
I was on my bed like that, like it's fucking me right now.
So it's more about just like how we behave there, not about the festival. No, we love the festival.
And also,
it's really
I'm
special.
thinking like the amount of people, like it's the festival is so crowded that it's obvious something can happen. Like someone can run naked or something.
Yeah, it's
like
a lot of people.
Some artists can fucked up because there is like 100 artists. So I mean, you can explain like this.
It's surprising that there's less stories of people acting out. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's
I saw one that the guy run naked.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's okay.
Just one.
I saw the one video. I was like, good for you, buddy. Enjoy yourself.
Could have been me.
Could have been you.
Should have been me.
So yeah, and like. I don't know how many thousand of people there, but I mean, you have, of course, like less people, but still, how you control what the people coming to the Space Yacht? Because it's very important, like every person bringing the vibe, and you have a community, and it's so important, like who came to your party, how you, like, if you can control or if you're doing it, I don't know.
I feel like how you carry yourself as the host us basically really matter. I mean, that's one factor. The music you book, the things you say. I mean, like, you know, if you go on Twitter saying like, "Oh, do some fucked up shit," people might start doing some fucked up shit.
Yeah, I think we really express our brand and like who we are through our brand. So I feel like people kind of know. Like if you think about the other parties in LA, some are like really ratchet, and that's like their vibe of what it is. Like we're crackheads, but we're not as like. It's, you know, you're not going through an alley to come to our party. It's like, you know, we're in like the best clubs in the world, I think, right? So it's like automatically there's a level of like, all right, this is professional. This isn't just kind of like dinky, whatever. Yeah. But then it's like, no, I think mutual respect. I think if there's ever issues in the club, which are very rare actually for us, we don't have much of that. But when there is, you know, we work with the security staff to just make sure that like it's handled in a way that's respectful. And I honestly shout out to all the security guards that work on all the venues, because we have been fortunate enough where people like they know how to deal with people who are kind of being crazy. Do you have the
situation where someone is doing like stupid shit at the party or
I mean
fighting?
we've had there's been stuff, not so much fighting so much. I mean, sure there's been one or two in the history of the thing, but no, mostly it's like we like if people get too fucked up, we're just making sure that like they're helped the way they need to be helped. That to us is the biggest thing. It's less about like diffusing a fight. It's more like, oh, that person looks a little fucked up. Let's make sure like where are her friends first? Okay, great. Do we have a security guard who can help if she needs or he needs to be helped out? Do we need, you know? And again, that's very rare. Like you're not like this is not a kind of club where people are overdosing at our shows or anything. If anything, people are just drinking and having a good time. So we're very fortunate where it's not like crowd control and vibe control is not really an issue, because it's just kind of like, even to know about Space Yacht, you have to be kind of into music as like the first thing. People aren't just people don't come to Space Yacht to be seen. You know what I mean? So we don't have like scenesters who like are there for, you know, reasons other than music. Like people want to come for music and then community. So if you've been to Space Yacht a couple times, people do start to feel like, oh, there's a community here. I see some of the regulars. I see us. I see people that I've seen on social who are part of Space Yacht. So that's why being like we try to be at every show that we can be at. I mean, we do divide and conquer if there's out of state show or out of LA shows, like, you know, like he's going to Vegas next week, you know, it's like we take turns on some of the stuff, but like for the most part we try to be at everything we can be at. And I do feel like we set the tone, because if you know about Space Yacht, you know who we are. So it's like, you know, it's, I don't know.
Oh, why are you going to next week on Vegas? You have an event there?
I'm gonna go party, and we're gonna go party.
I think I might
It's
go
a
to
Space Yacht event in
Yeah,
Vegas?
Space Yacht in
there.
Vegas.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Space Yacht in Vegas.
Why
Yeah,
do
we do
have-
once a month out in Vegas.
Once a month in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're like we're in San Diego once a month, Vegas once a month, Seattle once every like 2 months. And then San Francisco is kind of like random. Sometimes we'll be there a lot in a row. Sometimes we won't be there. So it's not necessarily about like making these monthly or residencies. It's just like we found good partners who want to do work, and we're like, cool, like, you know, a monthly seems like seems doable. You know, in Seattle we could probably have a weekly because we have Tony up there crushing it. But we also realize like it's doing really well. It's kind of rare, you know, because we don't do it all the time. We're not playing ourselves out. So I feel like that's another reason why people really react to it, because it's like it's only once every couple months. It's if you miss it, it's not like in LA where you can come to a Space Yacht all the time, you know. So yeah, but in LA it's kind of cool. It's like we're kind of diversifying the venues we are at. So we're still at Sound from time to time, but we're also at a new place called Synergy Santos, which is downtown. You came to that show at the one on the roof. In that place. So we're starting to do a lot of shows there, and then we have shows coming up at Academy, Avalon. When Exchange opens back up, we'll be there as well. So LA, we kind of jump to a bunch of different
So cool that
spots.
you're trying to find a balance between to have your own stage at the Coachella, but still at the same time to be the underground event and give the young artists the stage to perform, because like you're not just like a Insomniac that just like book like a big artist with a not like big, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
You still
We're, like I said, we are the people trying to find the new artists. That's our role in the ecosystem of all of this.
But still,
you know.
everyone knows about you, which is like super cool.
Thank you.
Tell all your friends.
Thank you.
Yeah,
how is
everybody listening to this, tell 2 friends.
How
tell
does
10
the
friends.
Twitch happen? Like that.
Twitch?
Like that you're together listening the SoundCloud tracks and.
Yeah, no, that was part of the whole like when we
COVID?
started the label. It was just like we had nothing to do with COVID. Shut everything
I
down.
think the
so
COVID gave you so many.
it
like,
gave us a lot
new
of stuff.
ideas.
Yeah,
It really. I feel like we're one of
clothing
the few
too.
that-
Like this hoodie was a COVID hoodie.
Yeah.
Like we put that.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
put that one out then.
I wish you can bring something to me as a present.
I should have. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We'll get you something for sure.
I'll make you a care package. You need one of the sweatsuits. I have a sweatsuit I can give you.
It's okay. So how did Twitch happen? Like that, so during the COVID, you decided that you have to do something.
We literally were like middle of COVID. We're like, we got nothing to do. We got to figure out something to do.
Let's start record label. Let's
You're gonna
start
do
the
the
Twitch.
DJ sessions from the remember it was like a club with nobody, and then you were wearing a mask
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
DJ.
yeah,
like
yeah,
here's
yeah.
your
That was
DJ.
crazy.
and
I
you're,
remember
like,
that.
fucking masks and stuff.
That was crazy.
We were
time.
doing NFTs. We were doing everything.
We did a lot of
Anything we
NFTs.
can think of that is remotely creative that we can apply ourselves. We were trying it. We were making new merch. We were making a lot of it. But Twitch was like, well, people are still making music and they're going to send it. Let's create this platform where they can send it. And the whole idea was like, you know, people know reaction videos. People know, I don't know if you know this app called Cameo, where you can pay like $10 and some famous person will say a script. You can like hire Arnold Schwarzenegger, not Arnold.
I think
like
I've
someone,
heard, but
Yeah, to say like happy birthday.
Happy
wishes
birthday,
or whatever.
David, from Arnold Schwarzenegger, or something like that. It'll be like $50.
I know my friends did the same thing this year for me. We did the American Pie party, and they record the
There you go.
Actress from American Pie film.
So
movie.
we basically wanted to
saw it in
combine
the
that
theaters.
app along with what Twitch does, like live stream, reaction video, Cameo, all into one thing. And like this thing called Tune Reactor started becoming a thing. And then we meant it for it to be kind of like a what do you call it? Like an outlet just to keep staying creative. But like a few episodes in, all this crazy music was coming. And we were just like, okay, this is going to be part of the music label now. You can't just ignore how good some of this. We got some demos from South Korea, this house producer, and we're like, what the fuck? We can't book you on a show because we can't afford the flight, but like, we'll put you on our label. Let's do something.
Yeah. No, also, and then it just turned into, it's actually where we do most of our A&R for the label. So it's like, it's turned into like two-hour chunks, like 4 hours a week, where like we have to sit and listen to music. Like we're so busy doing the other shit, and we do A&R
Who listening
offline
the
too.
demos for label? Both of you, or
It would be both of us.
Yeah.
you like sitting together, or just
No, it's remote. So
So on the show, we're in different cities.
yeah.
No, of course, I understand
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not at the same room, but I love like your sense of humor, your reaction, how you like react to the tracks.
Well, also
and
we know
drops.
people are gonna clip it, so we are cognizant of the reaction's actually important to make that clip worth sharing.
How you thinking? Like your strategy, you have a strategy in the
Gotta do
every ways,
something.
which is good. I love it.
Yeah,
It wasn't
you got
like that in the beginning. It evolved to get a little better over time, and it'll probably get better again in the next year. We'll try to make it better.
Yeah, no, we're really excited about Twitch. That's just another growth area for us where we're like, okay, like, do we stream more? Should we make new programs? Should we do more of a podcast talking thing? Should we do something where we're reacting to people's brands and give them advice on how to make their brand better, not just the music? Like, that's every day we're kind of talking about how do we do more content, you know? And it's like, even doing this show is like a great way to kind of let people know about the show. It's like, you know, just trying to put ourselves out there.
So
right
for
now,
now, Space Yacht, it's events, it's Twitch, record label, it's merch.
Yeah.
What else? It is for now, or you have something else?
Sounds about right.
Events,
But it sounds
events,
a
record
lot.
label, Twitch,
Anyway,
merch,
Record label, Twitch, merch. Yeah.
do you have something in your mind that you want to do in the future, like something else?
Well, food. We want to do something food related, but
We both are lovers of food.
and we have I'm not going to say it here because we don't want to, but we have a concept for a food related kind of day party that we're going to do at some point. But it is something I don't want to be saying out loud because it's like it's good
It's
and
too good.
someone will do it if we don't do
no,
it.
no,
So,
don't say that.
so we do have like kind of it would be kind of a brunchy type day party concept.
I would
so-
love to come. I love to eat.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we're both like food is another passion of ours. Henry's an amazing chef, and you know.
What do you like to cook, Henry?
I think I'm a good freestyler and improviser. Thanks to the ancient art of Cantonese techniques. I just mean my upbringing from like my Southern Chinese family.
Okay.
Imbued me or endowed me with these techniques that lend themselves very well to my I call them refrigerator dumps, where you grab everything from the fridge. And
Sure. Yeah.
magic.
Usually it's
Magic.
It's like you're unchopped.
Yeah, you're in chat. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're doing the same in Russia. When you're cooking breakfast, you take eggs and everything that leftovers from the dinner from the yesterday.
Yeah.
like
Leftovers,
potatoes
egg.
eggs, and
Yeah.
put it together.
The
And
best.
it's so cool.
Exactly.
Both of you have a family, right?
Yeah.
You have a kid.
I have a son. Yeah.
You are, Henry, you're in the relationship, but still I think it's like a family thing too.
Yeah.
How you manage like your nightlife as a family, especially when you have a kid, and easy?
It's well, I shout out to my wife. I have a partner who's very understanding. She was in music for a long time and now she's an agent, so she understands entertainment really well. She also like doesn't really want to come to the shows at all, and understands that like this is our office, and so it's just our relationship has developed in a way that really works for the both of us, because it's like she doesn't love that I'm out all the time, but at the same time she gets that like, look, it's either this or a day job, and she knows that I just can't deal with the day job. So in that type of way. So I have a night job, you know what I mean? And that's the way we talk about it. And I'm also lucky in that she travels a lot for work, and she has a lot of times where she'll be like, I'm not going to be there for dinner and I'm covering, you know, so we cover for each other. So I'm, you know, shout out to my wife, and shout out to her
What is
mother.
her name?
Her name is Scarlett.
Scarlett.
And she's the best. And yeah, so that's how it works. It's because I have a very understanding situation with her. I could understand that not every relationship would be able to weather the storm like that, but I'm very fortunate, you know. And also, like, we got married. I'm like we got married, dude. Like, you're stuck with me. We're married. You know what I mean? It's not like
I think
know.
my relationship didn't work out, so it's okay.
Do you think it has something to do with kind of like the insecurities?
No.
of it?
I think Jacob, he really didn't care, even if I'm not at home.
All right. Well, he doesn't sound like
No. I mean, because
Good
he's
riddance.
working a lot. He into the business, so that's why and he understands too. Like, it's my nightlife. What I can do if I have to be at the club till like 4.
Sometimes you got to be in the club till 4.
Yes.
I feel like a little self-awareness and communication helps to, at least for my situation, typically maybe for like a male situation, to not create more insecurities.
Like, it's also you're like a man. You run the party. Maybe like a lot of girls around you. You know, like.
It's okay. You want to have girls around. You want to have guys around. You want to have all kinds of people around. But to the point of like on the romance side of things, it's like, I get it. Like you are around girls who want to party, who want access and wristbands or free
tickets,
drinks.
Free drinks.
I'm not going to ignore that. But like knowing that, well, you should kind of not use that to create insecurities, right? And thankfully, we both have pretty understanding partners who understand what we're saying and understand that that is the situation we're in. And we also go out of our way to not create more like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on? You know, like it can happen. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people. So stay in there, I guess. Hang in there.
How you see Space Yacht in the future? I'm pretty sure like 10 years ago, you even cannot imagine that you will have a record label, a merch. Maybe you did. I don't know, but
I don't know. I didn't think we thought that far.
I think
ahead.
it's just getting better at what we do. That's a for sure. And I think the projects that have come around have been natural evolutions. Like everything you listed today, like they were out of natural things we either wanted to do or there was like a pandemic that like forced us to do it.
Yeah.
But what I know for sure is like every day it's just like, how do we do this a little better?
Yeah.
You know, and that's good enough already.
No, really, like the thing how you're talking about the Space Yacht, it feels like it's like one more kid for you and the kid for you, you know, like it's something that you're taking care of like every day.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Totally.
And the way
100%.
how you're talking about the Space Yacht, it's very...
No, here's why we're like that also. We are aware of like, in one day you could become uncool or people could not care about what you're doing. You know what I mean?
that's the
Overnight
thing.
that could happen.
It's so easy
to anybody in any
to
brand.
lose what are you doing. I
Yeah.
mean, like if in the case if you like didn't do something or like I don't know, be distracted, whatever. But it's cool that 10 years you just like becoming bigger and not like famous but popular in LA and outside of LA, which is like super cool.
Well, no, I think 10 years from now the idea would be like we'd like to have more reach, have more fans, just keep growing it. But to Henry's point, it's all going to be organic. Whenever we force things in the past, it doesn't work when you force it. You know, if there's something there, an idea there, something we're passionate about, we're going to go after it. It might not work, but we're going to give it our all. And you know, for as many things that have been successful for us, there's a lot of failures that people don't see. A lot of people talk about that. It's the same with us. And we have failures every day, but like we don't let that take us down. We try to learn from those
but when you
things.
feel that it's like something fucked up or it's like some failure, how you talk to yourself to go through that?
We say I every day I talk to myself. I'm like, no, you got to keep going. Like I don't want to just you can't just you take it on the chin. I might even be upset about something for a couple days, for a couple weeks. But it's like, no, man, like, well, what's the other option? We love doing what we do. So it's like, you know, we're not going to let that push us back. And if anything, it's like, I think that you need the lows in order to kind of bounce back. You know what I mean? Like you need the lows in order to feel the highs. You do.
Yes.
So it's just like this. I think the last couple of years specifically, we've had so many ups and downs that people don't see, and we've weathered. You know, like we like to say, fucking weathering the storm. Every 6 months, there's a storm, right? And we got to keep going. You know, it's like
I mean, I'm an artist and I have the same thing.
I'm not gonna go work at Facebook. You know what I mean? I don't want to go work at fucking Amazon corporate doing the numbers. So. Those are going to be the only two jobs in the future, Facebook and Amazon.
The AI prompter.
Yeah, exactly.
You could be a good AI prompter one day.
I try. I do practice.
Did you have any other job? I mean, okay, no. What the specialization did you have before you started doing parties?
Well, I did marketing for 10 years. I did marketing.
That's why you're good. Like
so I had
in
a band.
promotion
I was playing music. I was being an artist all the time. But I had a day job for 10 years, and then Henry, we worked together for 3 or 4 years.
So we both like from the marketing.
Me not as much. I was. We met at a marketing company, but my role was like Excel, Google, like really data. I was really good at it.
Data analytics.
I'm still very good at Microsoft Excel. I think that's what makes me
very good at that.
Me.
I think that's why you are very strategic.
But also partied and did a lot of drugs, so I was good at that.
It happens.
Not as good today, but still not bad.
So I see that you are a really great like B2B couple. I don't know how right to say.
B2B is good. B2B.
B2B,
yeah.
yes.
But what's funny is like we've actually switched every kind of role back and forth and back again, like in the past 9 years.
Then you just feel each other, and you just like
Yeah.
I think we personally have ups and downs too, and like
every person has ups and downs. I mean,
totally.
Me too. And when I'm just like year by year starting to understand that it's okay. It's okay to like.
It is okay.
Be at the end of something, you know, like.
And everybody has it too. That's the thing. You never have to feel alone about the downs, because there's other people feeling either the way you do or similar, and life is hard for everybody, no matter where you are, whatever money you have, whatever your situation. Life is hard, and you can't let it take you down, you know. And I think, and by the way, the reason I'm saying that about Space Yacht is like Space Yacht is our life. So it's like when I think about life, like Space Yacht is like fucking intrinsic to it. It's not just a job. It's like, it's not a job. It's our life. So that's why I'm saying that in this context, because it is a thought and an emotion that comes throughout the day. It's not just like after work, you know, when I have a down. It's like I could be down during work, being like, like what and it could be, I could be down about something personal. I could be down about something that messed up at work. Like it just, I think the way I talk to myself is like, okay, calm down. Try to calm down, take a walk, you know. And I, for me personally, I talk to myself a lot, like when I'm in struggle city, because when I talk to myself, I'm like, well, why don't you just talk to yourself? Talk to me like you would talk to someone else, and then I'll talk to you the way that I would talk to you if I was listening to you. So I'll be like, man, well, this is fucked up, and I'm so upset about this, and this happened, and this, and I'll be like, okay, well, here's what my advice would be if someone else was saying it to me, you know. Yeah, I do that every day, all day.
No,
doesn't mean that like I don't feel bad at certain times, or like, you know, it doesn't make it better, but it's a tool. It's a tool to help myself try to be like, well, I can't be like, for example, like on a day where I'm on the couch and I'm like, I can't even work, I can't do anything. I'm supposed to be in a meeting with Henry, like I don't even want to fucking move, you know, like that, and that'll happen from time to time where I'm like, you know, you got to talk to yourself and be like, just get off the couch. Once you start working, like. Doesn't mean you'll feel better, but you'll just keep it fucking moving.
I have just some like artist friends. Usually I'm trying to talk more to my like DJ friends if I have some downs in my professional way than even just with my regular friends, because they can say like, oh, everything will be good, but I want to share with the people who can understand what's going on in the professional way, and they could give me more like specific advice what to do in this situation and stuff like that.
Totally.
Like, sometimes I can call to Zlata and say like, Zlata, what the shit is going on in my life?
Oh, hi.
And she's
what's up?
And she's like, I have the same shit, girl. No worries. It's okay. We're all going through that. Right. I know that you're talking a lot to each other, and I know that you are the best team, the best friends. But in case if you have something in your mind that you never say to each other, bad or good, or advice or a compliment or something, you have 1 minute to say each other something that you never say or you wanted to say. Henry, you first.
I got the reservation for quarters for after this podcast, baby.
Let's go!
Haven't told you that shit. So we're near K-Town, and we're going to go have Korean barbecue after.
Oh, I love Korean barbecue.
We're going to have a good bro dinner.
What I wanted to say is I've always wanted to be hanging out with you when you just randomly would tell me that you have a reservation at our favorite KBBQ place. So that happened just now.
I love barbecue, guys. I wish you the best, and I'm very happy that I invite you, because like in Instagram we are one person, but when we start talking and you're completely different from me right now.
That makes me feel weird, because now I'm like, uh-oh.
No. I mean, yes.
We both get that a lot.
Because of your
people just think
reels.
I'm constantly talking shit all the time, just, you know.
No, Henry, he's a like Asian guy. We met with you, and he's like the same guy that I imagine you from.
I put a lot of work into making my online
very,
consistent. You know, people used to think I'm always drunk.
Yeah, no, he used to be a lot more unhinged online. Like I
used to tweet about like blacking out, and that was like my kind of joke. And half the time I was really, really drunk. I would go out, get super drunk, but I'm like a funny drunk, I guess.
Did you do some bad things?
Not really. I just like
nothing.
I might go and black out after the show, but nothing bad or traumatic happened, if that's what you mean.
No interesting stories.
Yeah. Throughout blacking out, yeah, I almost. There was one time I almost jumped off the bass pod stage at EDC, and I don't even remember this.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. Actually, this can be on the podcast. That's fine. All kinds of stuff. It was just, that was like my persona. But people would be like, Henry, you're so normal right now. I'm like, you're not blacked out. I'm like, I guess not. I better start drinking. And I think I just wanted to switch things up, work on other parts of my life. It wasn't nothing like really bad happened, but it's been a few years since like I've worked on shedding that like reputation.
I have one situation at EDC when I was jump on some speaker or I don't know subwoofer and start doing like that, and in a few days I was a waiter, I was at my work, and I feel myself how right to say when you wanna nauseous, thank you, and I didn't realize what's going on because like I didn't lose my orientation. Like you understand what was going on? Sure. And when I say my symptoms, people say that I have the concussion.
Concussion?
Yeah,
ooh, wow.
I just did like that. So I didn't falling down, nothing. I just like, So
your brain was hitting the side of your skull. That's how
this is my EDC experience.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And on that note,
do you like drink?
Thanks for tuning
London?
into the show.
Do you like to drink?
I like to drink. I've been known as a weed smoker, but I've been off the heavy smoking for a long time, unfortunately, because I miss it every day, and I really wish I could smoke weed all the time. But
I'm doing it.
But I'm winding that down right now. So I like a beer or two, like a gin and tonic, or six gin and tonics.
Oh, you didn't have beer, I think, right?
Yeah, I already drank it. So yes,
Just
I do like to drink. Cheers. Thank you for having us, by the way. Appreciate it.
No, I want to say that I feel myself bad that I knew about the Space Yacht just the last few months, like start knowing you more than I used to be the last time, but it's better to now than never.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
I'm going, that's the thing.
Oh, well.
But I will be back.
Come back.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Moving to Miami.
Oh, nice. You told me that. Yes.
We'll
start doing parties in Miami.
We'll see you there.
Yeah, I would love to help. And I'm very happy that you're building the community and giving the platforms to young artists to play the music, to release the music. And that is not just about you, it's about the people around you, which is super cool. And I see that, and I see why you are successful as a brand, because everything that you're doing is from the inside of you, from your soul. And I think a lot of people can like learn from you how to run the brand. It's very cool. I wish you guys good luck. I'm playing my first show at the end of May.
Yeah, let's go.
At Sky Bar. Yeah, I'm very excited. You know that I'm not playing bass music, right?
Play whatever you want.
Okay. I'm just letting you know.
No, it should. I mean, it's going to be a lot of house, a lot of tech house, a lot of just a mixture.
Yeah, I think Sky Bar is not ready for dubstep.
No.
That's where you get concussions.
Yeah, exactly.
In the pool.
Exactly.
I love you guys, and thank you so much for coming. Wish you the best, and
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
That's it.
Bye.